This is the prayers that live within. Into sorrow. Into sorrow. Into sorrow. Into sorrow. The clock ticks loud, the last of the call. Into somewhere. Opinions collide, breaking it down, no place to hide. Into somewhere where legends are made. Jake and Cody calling the spade a spade. John and Darby in the coffin's embrace. Moxie's fury, a relentless chase. Splinters fly, the nails scream. Dark corners hold a blood-soaked dream. Into somewhere with fire in their eyes, talking to madness beneath the skies. And they bleed the skies. Make us inside. Take us inside. Neon lights can't hide the shade. Every punch thrown feels the same. Blood and sand and a hollow sheer. WrestleMania dies right here. They sold the fight for a shiny crown. Jake and Cody break it down. Into somewhere we all go. We all go. We all go. Wrestling futures they all show. Jake and Cody rocking the flow. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. First night, false fists in the sky. Second night, the legends collide. Into somewhere we crash and burn. Turn the page, no way to return. CM Punk and Gunther fight. Cody Rhodes, John Cena ignite. Broken foot, but the show rolls on. Jake's pain sings a quiet song. In the sun, where we all fall. Wrestling rumors, wrestling brawls. Jake and Cody calling it raw. In the somewhere, breaking the wall. Eclipse, a suplex, dreams and chair shot screams. Fans in the chat throwing wild extremes. Jake's got crutches but his spirit won't bow. Cody laughs, Jake wipes his brow. Jake calls a shot, Spaz breaks the game. Cody's in the fray, adding to the flame. Ladders they rise, fists hit the air. Chaos erupts without a care. Triple A's warriors and XT's pride. Only one walks with glory inside. Into somewhere we scream and shout. Breaking it down, no shadow. Into somewhere where we breaking it down. CM Punk, John Cena tearing up the town. Broke half on fire, no one spit it better. Reef wing like a beast, no one does it clever. Cena through elbows, Punk through shade. Chains clang, bodies bang, rivalry displayed. Slanted to the chains like lions in the cage. Toronto crowd wild, unleash all the rage. In this summer, in this summer. The garden's buzzing, New York feel electric. Punk's fist cracking, Seth's got a death wish, hectic. Cody says, man, Punk, look hearts fight, her power aligns.
Mic drop, we analyze every bout, discussing every twist, don't leave a doubt. Predictions, insights, we break it all down into somewhere best critics around.
In the somewhere we reviewing every bout, breaking down the moves, ain't no shadow of doubt. WWE heat, we bring that white hot flame, from prayer to gunner, we calling names. Yeah.
Turnbuckle tension, the ropes might snap. Jake calling spots, Cody's laying the map. Spaz with the bent, or a joke then a clue. Breaking it down for the hardcore crew. Into somewhere wrestling minds collide, breaking down the chaos, the truth won't hide. Briefcase in the air, who's taking the gold? We're diving deep, stories unfold. RKO hits like a freight train crash. Lights out cold in the WWE backlash. Cats on fire, gonna brought down low. Fighting flames on this endless show. Somewhere Jake and Spaz ride, taking you on an NXT pride. Cincinnati's roar can't hide. Wrestling dreams all collide. The scoop on the belts and the rivalries brewing. Tag teams exploding, legends renewing. From indie vibes to the big stage proving. Every rumor nailed down, no chance of misconstruing. Catchphrases dropping like a pile driver move. Jake switch sharp, Cody's got the groove. They keep it real raw, never out of the loop. Step into somewhere, the wrestling troupe. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. Into somewhere. We follow, the clock ticks low, who'll answer the call? Into somewhere. Opinions collide, breaking it down, no place to hide. Into somewhere where legends are made. Jake and Cody calling the spade a spade. John and Darby in the coffin's embrace. Moxie's fury, a relentless chase. Splinters fly, the nails scream. Dark corners hold a blood-soaked dream. Into somewhere with fire in their eyes, talking the madness beneath the skies. And they bleed the skies. Take us inside. Take us inside. Neon lights can't hide the shade. Every punch thrown feels the same. Blood and sand and a hollow cheer. WrestleMania dies right here. They sold the fight for a shiny crown. Jake and Cody break it down. Into somewhere we all go. We all go. Pipe bomb, Uso stands tall. Who's gonna break? Who's gonna fall? The ropes scream, the match shakes in this arena. No room for fakes. Drew's Claymore, Cody's resolve. Conflicts deepen, mysteries to solve. Every move, every blow. Jake and Cody, they let it show. Into somewhere, the chaos flows. Jake and Cody,
What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to Into Somewhere Weekly. Glad to have you here. Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Better late than never. Thank you for your patience. Blame Spaz. Hashtag that in the chat. We were late after we had a menage a trois of the state of wrestling. Myself, Spaz Phoenix, and the other wrestling mind, the goat to my boat. It's Cody O'Needy 316.
Give me a hell yeah.
What's going on? I'll only be here. Well, I'll be back afterwards. I'll be here for the first few minutes of it.
Yeah,
so whatever
and then
topic
we'll
you wanna
banish you back to
I'll
Ban
stop.
Island for your
For
terrible
30 minutes,
takes
then
and
I'll be back.
your horrible victimization
Your
of
terrible take.
Stephanie
Terrible
Vacour.
takes.
How dare you?
Okay, we're gonna start with that now.
Oh,
Okay, we're
boy.
gonna continue on from that podcast. Okay, this is a little teaser for
You guys will
Spaz's,
have to go and check it
podcast.
out. As we were discussing, people, were they better in AEW or WWE? It was kind of the definitive conversation and how they were handled. But don't you worry, folks. We're clean and shut. We got a lot to get to tonight. We have predictions for AEW's Blood and
one of my
Guts.
takes.
The men
is-
and women's side. We're also going to go ahead and before we get into any of that, we've got, ratings and we've got our TKO
We're
reports.
gonna save the big things because it'll be longer discussions. We're gonna save the Stephanie and the War Game Blood and Guts takes I had for after when I get back because those are gonna be a little longer discussions. So
well,
I
we'll
won't
see,
have time
but
to
yeah,
rant
still,
on
it,
that now.
you've only derailed me trying to open the show 9 times now, but let's go for 10. Drew McIntyre has a massive update. We've got Cody and what he thinks is the perfect star today, and who that is, we'll discuss. Cody's going to break down his takes, as he said, on Stephanie Vacour, and then Nick Khan is defending the WWE ticket price hikes. That's right. Into Summer Weekly, we've got a lot of news to go over, as well as our preview and predictions of Blood and Guts for next week. Dynamite's going on right now. I wanted to try and catch it live, but unfortunately, we have been podcasting since the better part of 6. So I've not seen hardly much of what's going on live with Dynamite. I know we've got some of the round matches to see who gets the advantage. Is it the Team Claudio or Team Orange Cassidy? They have a one-on-one match to open the show. But we'll get further into there. I still want to know your thoughts. What do you think's going to happen when we get into next week, Blood and Guts? We've got quite the week to look forward to next week. We've got the John Cena tournament going on, so we know the Raw
If we're gonna
side.
talk about Blood and Guts, I want to do this take first.
This Friday, we'll have more of the matches released. And we'll find out who else is going to compete in the Last Time Is Now tournament to face John Cena. So we know the 4 current Raw participants. And then, like I said, we've got our Blood and Guts match to look forward to, as well as some stuff from NXT. We'll go over what they have next week because they've got title matches and some big announcements as well. So a lot to look forward to. What was that, my good man?
If we're gonna discuss Blood and Guts first, I'm gonna use one of my takes.
Yeah, what's that?
Now, before we leave, I think AEW is going to do better with it's War Games. Let's just be honest, it's just War Games, regardless of the name
It
title.
is.
But I think AEW's matches will be better than WWE's matches. I know you guys label me more pro WWE, but there you go. And reasons being, I know not every match needs to be bloody, but if AEW didn't do it all the time, this is a match to get chaotic like that. It needs the chaos. WWE doesn't do that so much. It's just a extended steel cage match.
Yeah.
So there's like we said, ever since it came up to the main roster, there's no really good match that anyone can remember for War Games. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think regardless of the results of any War Games for either company, I think AEW will have the better. AEW will have the better matches.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably how a lot of people are going to feel. I'm not a big proponent of hardcore wrestling. Never have been, never will be.
Well, War Games is a match for that though.
Exactly.
because-
That's what it's catered towards. And especially the AEW side, they do get as much blood and guts out of the namesake. So
But I just don't buy the whole using weapons and there's 10 guys brawling in there and no one's gonna bleed. That just
yeah.
looks unbelievable. from
NXT had
WWE's
some
part.
great War Games matches, and they didn't always need blood. They knew how to hype up the drama and the storytelling aspects to make you give a damn about the people in peril in the ring. When Tommaso Ciampa, jumps off the top with Adam Cole strapped to his back, air raid siren delivered through tables, crash landing, bam, baby, like that stays in my mind. You didn't need blood for that to matter. So I get your point. You want it to look more realistic. I don't doubt that. But blood is not the be all end all for me personally. That's
Not
my take on it. So
I think there should be some blood in those kind of matches when 10 guys are in there beating the shit out of each
you're
other.
probably one of the more common side of the percentage, I would imagine, of folks being surveyed, because a lot of people seem to.
I don't understand why
find a
have
necessity
a
for
War Games
blood.
in WWE on the main roster if it's just going to be a steel cage match. That's
I
all it
mean,
is.
they've done some.
It's very
things.
very watered down, like just so.
It is just a 2-ringed cage match. They don't do a ton to differentiate it
WWE's
from
War Games
anything
matches
else.
aren't really good though. They're
No.
very watered down. Main roster, NXT, yeah, they had great match, but main roster War Games is
Yeah, main roster,
extremely
they had
watered
like the bro out moment with Randy coming back, and obviously the Punk debut aside, or re-debut, whatever you want to call it, his return. Having all those
I
guys
don't
together
think
with
that
Team
means it's
Cody, like that
an
was a
entire
fun
good
match,
though.
but
It's
it was
just
that's what it
moments,
was though. It was a spot fest, and it wasn't a great match, so you can have good tellings here, and unfortunately, I do kind of think with the way it's been booked so far, Survivor Series is going to be very rushed. Blood and guts, it makes sense with the people they
Why
have
don't we have
facing
the
off
teams
against each
announced
other
yet?
for
This is one of your big
Survivor
four.
Series. Yeah, I know.
What matches are announced for Survivor Series?
As of right now, I don't think there's anything confirmed.
And this is one of your big four pay-per-views. There should be at least more than half the card
You would think.
settled,
I mean, we've
especially
only
in a
got
5-match card.
what, 3 weeks until Survivor Series at this point?
Yeah, and there's not a fucking match announced yet. What the fuck?
Yeah, they I don't think there's anything announced yet that I'm aware of. The only one we don't know about. What we've last
gonna
heard
be a
was Cena was
variation
taking on
of-
Dominic, and then we heard no, now it's going to be Ray versus Dominic because it's in St. Diego, the whale's vagina. And instead of the Cena match, we'll get that on a Raw, which could be the case. But
I honestly think I like that, but I honestly like my idea from the other day where was it yesterday or Monday? I forgot when I said
it
that.
all
but,
bleeds together.
I think you build into Ray facing Dominic again. I don't think you just shoot that right away because Ray just came back from injury. But I think that you maybe have John and Dom run it for the IC title. There's a story there that John Cena never won the IC title, but I think Dominic should win. I think
yeah.
the first time when Dominic won the AAA Mega Championship, the deal was if I win, you have to hand it to me and put it around my waist, making Ray do something he doesn't want to do. Now this time, John Cena
We
is going
just
to be
saw
like,
that though too.
I
You
know
gotta
you
keep in
hate
mind
your-
with Becky. Keep that in mind because we had Becky do the whole "you got to raise my hand" thing with Lyra. So
that's fine, but
Just
this is a
saying.
little different now. I think Ray should be the special guest referee of John Cena and Dominic, and John
think
Cena
that's
is
the
going to tell
better
Ray, I
idea.
know you don't like your son, but I don't want you to hand me the championship. I want to win it clean. So please call this down the middle if you have any respect for me at all.
So here's my
I do
thought.
have
Hold
respect.
off on the match of Dom and Ray. Have Ray be I like what you said. I'll piggyback on that. Save Ray and Dom till I'll get to it. So have Cena with Ray's help, essentially. No fast count, no BS, just Ray counting him. Cena gets the IC title and then drops it to whoever his last
that's where
opponent
I
is.
disagree there. I think that Ray should count the 3 for Dom, something he doesn't want to do.
I
gonna
like
be
the
painful for him
storytelling
to
of
do.
it, but Cena not winning the title, I mean, that's the one he's missing. Why have the match if he's not going to get the title? It's less to put Dom over, and I feel like more to get that belt on John. I think the Ray and the Dominic rematch should be saved for the Rumble next year. Think about it. They're in that location. So they want
But I think it
legends. They
helps
want
benefit.
stars.
I
Ray's a
think it
huge
benefits
star.
Dom
It
and
gives them an
Ray
overseas
if Dominic
match.
beats Cena. If
Oh,
Dominic beats Cena, I think it increases the Dom and Ray rivalry because that's something
yeah,
again Ray has to do.
I agree with you tenfold. I just
That he
don't
doesn't
know
wanna
that
do.
they're going to have John be beaten by Dom, one, and then two, what's the point of the pairing if John's not taking the title? That kind of almost feels like if we're getting the match, that's a foregone conclusion. That's the one he hasn't captured. So that's one more accolade to add to his overallness. I just failed to see how they would make the match and not have John get the title. And like you said, I love your idea because if Ray is counting for Dom, he's like, I don't want to do it. I'm reluctant, but I have to. He already had,
Because John asked him to call it down the middle.
but here's the thing. We already saw this. We already saw Ray have to put the belt around his waist when he won the AAA champion, mega championship. Ray had to put the title around his waist. So that's why I'm saying it's
a
like
little different.
it's a
Now
little
he
different,
beat
but
the WWE go. Yeah, but it's two different
two different
accomplishments now.
promotions, but really
this is the
it's
mega
still,
championship. This is something that means a lot to Ray, and Dominic won that title before he did, so it pisses Ray off that he has to put that title around him.
I mean,
So now
that's what they
Dominic
did, though.
beat
It's
the GOAT
they
of
did that.
WWE. Now the Dominic beat the
just
GOAT of WWE.
changing-
Now Ray has no.
You're changing
Now
El
Dominic
Vikingo
beat
for
the-
John Cena. That's it. That's all you're doing. Instead of beating El, Vikingo, he beats
Well-
John Cena. So and then Ray had to put
But,
the belt around his
that was
waist
about the-
reluctantly.
Title 2. That was about the title 2. Now you have to raise his hand because I just beat the GOAT of WWE. Now what?
But it's the same point in principle,
really.
though. It really is. Instead of beating Vikingo, he
really.
beat Cena, and now guess what? Oh, I still have to put
You're
the
adding on
title around.
accomplishments, and Ray has to keep saying congratulations each time.
See, I think that's too much of a reach
get
out
a
for
boy-
the fans
a
to
boy-
give a damn.
No,
I don't think it. See, it's already been done. I don't think it's going to have enough weight. That's just personal take, but I don't see it having enough weight to go ahead and be an emotional crux. The fans aren't. They're in the idea of a match between these two, but just to see him crown him champ, we've done that. We just saw it a few months back when he got the AAA title. I'm thinking
But two different
From
meanings,
the-
though, because that mega championship's prestigious. That title means a lot to Ray because he's never won that title. Now he has to see Dominic beat one of his good friends in John Cena, and he's not going to like that either because he
Yeah.
wants Cena to probably.
Okay,
beat Dom and
but it's still the
get
same
that
thing. It's just instead of Cena, it's Vikingo. Instead of Vikingo, it's Cena. Like nothing else changes. He has to put the belt around his son unwillingly. He's
Yeah, I
reluctant
think
to
there's
do
more to
so.
it when you have to count the 3 for Dominic because Ray wants to.
The only thing that's different is John is a bigger star. That's it. There's everything else is the exact same.
That's an upgrade. That's an upgrade and accomplishment.
It's an upgrade and accomplishment, but it's a repeat for the
congratulate-
fans.
and you
It's
have
the
to count
same
the 3.
story.
Does Ray want to count the 3 for Dom?
But he already did this. That's what I'm saying. Like we've been there. We've done this.
He wasn't the special guest referee.
No, but he's
Adds
awarded his
new
son
meaning.
the belt. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't see it working with the fans. I don't see the fans getting behind it enough to care for another
I'm
Dom victory. I think that Cena would just end up getting the belt if they're going to have the match. I can't see a realm where they're going to have Dom win. I really don't. And I think that idea would be good. Ray going ahead and counting it is a great idea because it puts over Dom. Everything you said is right as far as how it would feel, but I just don't see them getting Dom this victory. He's had the belt since Mania. The only other person that he loses to maybe would be Finn Balor if they're going to break up the Judgment Day. But besides that, Cena taking the belt is kind of the one that makes sense. No, he's never had it. That makes him Grand Slam champion. He said he was going to, leave with a belt. That's still a belt.
I think it is different though.
It's just different shades of gray. It's still gray. It's just different shades of gray. But granted, I can't see Dom winning. You honestly think Dom's going to win if they face off?
Yeah, because I think John Cena likes Dominic a lot, where he would want to put him over.
I'm not disputing that, but that's not John's call. Cody has been. I mean, one of the stories we're bringing up here is Cody Rhodes, who he thinks the ultimate star is, and who he wants to have the title on. He says it's who? Who do you think?
With what?
Who do you
Okay.
think Cody thinks it is?
On you. I'm
Cody
confused by your
Cody's
que-
Cody
yeah,
said he thinks this star is the perfect star and should have the title on them. Who do you think Cody is complimenting? Who do you think he's thinking so highly of?
I don't know who he said. And did I miss this report?
No, I was asking your opinion. I was just a thought. I didn't know who
wait,
you would
Cody
think.
Rhodes or me, Cody?
Cody Rhodes. Who do you think
Okay.
Cody Rhodes thinks is the person that deserves to be champion right now? He said Drew McIntyre. Any event, I was just asking your opinion.
Sure.
So he was on K100.
But they're gonna listen to John Cena more than Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a news report. Stay with the times here, bud. He said, I agree. They should put the title on Drew McIntyre. He said, enough already. He's already in shape. He looks like a star. He's like, they got rid of the cheesy sword. Even though it was named after his mother, it was ridiculous. He works social media perfectly. He's all around perfect. Give him the title. Cody has been promoting and just trying to get Drew to be given that title. He rallied for him at WrestlePalooza. Apparently, he spoke on deaf ears because we saw what happened then. Now he gets the rematch at Saturday night's main event, and he gets taken out the exact same way as Kevin Owens. His own hubris. He inserts a weapon into the match, and that ends up being what befalls him. Except Kevin Owens got his heat back by putting Cody Rhodes in the hospital. Remember, he gave him the pile driver and sent him packing, and walked out with the Winged Eagle belt and said he was keeping it. Hey,
Yeah.
But Drew lies there like a dead fish. I mean, there was nothing more to it. So where does McIntyre go from here? He feels buried, and it takes so much to say that, but he's he's not fully buried, but he's going underground. The dirt may not be on top, but he's in that shallow grave. It's a lot to undertake at this point because Drew should have gotten that title win.
Oh, I 100% agree. But WWE
That's
doesn't
a
have the
hill I would
balls
have
to-
died on. So yeah, you and I
doesn't
agreed
change
there
world
on the
titles
review.
that-
Our Saturday night's main event review hitting over 40,000 views. Thank you guys so much for that. That is a massive achievement and beats even some of the top tier YouTube
I'll be
wrestling
back
channels.
in a little bit. I have to go pick up her from work and then.
All right, broski. Well, we'll try and get your predictions when we get back. But everybody, make sure you go ahead and check out Cody O'Needy on all of socials. Cody__. O'Needy _316 on Instagram and all that jazz in the description box down below. But we go ahead here and we head into Bayley kind of just seemingly questioning what's going on with her mental status because whatever that means, she wrote, is what's going on. We don't know. Is she crazy still? It seems like they've cooled off with this. It seems like, according to Wrestling World, they're saying Bayley being tag team partners with Lyra. Hopefully they just stick together. And that's kind of it. I mean, she was hearing voices. She was going ahead and talking to herself. Things were grand, apparently, in her mind. And everything just kind of went south. So she heard the voices and she was flipping out on people and snapping. Lyra kind of thought she unlocked the superpower. All she had to do was slap her. And when she slapped her, that was it. Biff, bam, boom, straight to the moon. But that didn't really, didn't really present itself. They've been going for the women's tag titles. Hey, there we go. Soundboard. That startled me. But granted, I don't know if they're just discontinuing the crazy side of it because they haven't made mention of it or made light to any of it in weeks now. It just kind of fell to the wayside, and Bayley's also making note of it. Yeah, nothing confirmed for War Games at this time. So we'll see when they start really getting into this booking. Damian Priest and Rusev, Sheamus and Nakamura. So I believe that Damian Priest is losing. Rusev's going to win there. Nakamura and Sheamus, it's going to be banger after banger. That's right. Sheamus is winning, and I think then Sheamus and Rusev put on another one of those banger classics where Sheamus goes on to the top tier finals. I'm curious though, who do you guys think will end up in the Last Time Is Now tournament on the SmackDown side of things? And, we will give you our blood and guts predictions shortly. Jacob Fatu, they're saying he should be back in time for Survivor Series. Could he be on either one of the War Games teams? They said, he's like, Dave Meltzer saying the plan is Punk, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and LA Knight, because the other guy, Jacob, was supposed to be in it. He said, it could be Jacob if he's okay to wrestle, but he just had the oral surgery, so I don't know if he's going to be okay by the end of the month. Well, apparently, since then, things have changed, and it seems like Fatu may be cleared in time. So you're going to see Jacob Fatu, the Usos, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk take on the Vision side still, even though Seth's gone. We gotta get some more muscle. It's better than the MFT taking on the Wyatt Six possibility. That's for damn sure. No one wants to see that at all whatsoever. Just a real sad state of affairs. So before this, we went ahead and recorded the State of Wrestling with Spaz. He's waiting for me to finish getting that rendered done so he can upload it and bring it to y'all after we get the hell out of here. What's going on? Hopefully everybody's doing well in the chat. Good to see you here. Yeah, I appreciate you all greatly. Thank you for hitting the like button, helping us get to over 40,000 views on our Saturday night's main event review, excuse me. Like I said, too much going on, but yeah, I hope they really don't do a total. It's already going to be a rush job, but I don't want it to be like a beyond rush job into the War Games matches. I really want to see them at least make sense here, at least go ahead and do something that presents itself in such a way that, like, okay, this is logical, this is worthwhile, and this is exciting. I'm not feeling that they're heading into that at all right now, and that's unfortunate. John is going to have to start a singles feud before Survivor Series. If that's going to be Dominic, then they got to hurry up into it. Bailey and Lyra, I don't think anything is there with her. Are they going to have Drew get another match with Cody? That kind of feels like a step back at this time. Oh, well, Drew got taken out by getting, hit with the title at the end, and he got his head down, crossroads onto the belt. Well, it was done under your own volition because you presented it into the ring. You brought it into the match. So it's one of those things that just, I feel like even Ray and Dom, as Cody was mentioning, gets muddied because of the Americanos and all of the overbooking that's presented with them. The El Grande Americano situation. It was done initially for humor. The Gulf of America, haha, isn't that funny? The political landscape is changing. People are fighting. Let's make something that's a little edgy, a little tongue-in-cheek, funny, haha, parody. And then it became a life of its own because, oh, it's not really Chad. Chad's there, even though they had the same gear and tattoos. And yeah, all right, Chad gets hurt. Ludwig's going to continue. Oh, look, how's that possible? El Grande Americano's here, and he's taller and has a different physique. But we laughed. But now, no, there's no character. There's no character development. He's just let's fist each other luchador. And it's lacking, and it's upsetting because they either need to go all the way with it and really make him stand out, or instead he's the speed champion wrestling on NXT. He's going to be taking on Jasper Troy. That's what's going on Tuesday. Jasper Troy, El Grande Americano. How he gets out of that one, I don't know. Jasper Troy comes out with chains heavier than El Grande. We have Tatum Paxley opening the show next week. We got Ricky Saints versus Trick. Last man standing for the men's title. Damn, that's going to be a good match.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
I think this is where we might, maybe say goodbye to Trick. I can imagine him getting beat here. He takes the rest of the November, December time off and then comes up before the Rumble. Unless they do one of those, again, the soft launches where they bring him up from NXT for a few weeks and then all of a sudden, no more from NXT. You're officially signed to the main roster. Hey, if it works, it works. Tavon Heights and Josh Briggs also are going to have a match. And then the winner of Fallon Henley and Ray will face Zarya in a match for the vacant speed title. So that's interesting. And then after this show, we're heading into both episodes of Gold Rush. So it's going to be 2 weeks, but they're going to take both weeks. So we'll see the first 2 hours live. And then the second 2 hours will end up being taped. Who will be the next megastar? Spider-Man asks, like Roman Reigns. Ooh, I mean, okay, so if they could get him likable, Logan Paul could, and I feel dirty saying it, but I'm telling you, if they, because we know he can get along with the younger generation and get Prime and all these things off the ground. Like, he's got marketing power. If WWE finds a way to make him likable, I feel like he could be a annoying face that kids gravitate towards, and teenagers and all that, and parents and adults hate. Kind of like a John Cena was, but a bit more edgy and in your face. LA Knight is only getting older, but he is someone that they could throw the ball to at any point in time, and it would make a difference. That's one of the things that Cody and I were going to try and discuss tonight too, is just the age difference that you see in wrestling right now compared to the Attitude Era. So, you know, a lot of things have changed. And what has changed? Health protocols, concussion protocols, drug screenings, and so on. So now we see wrestlers having much longer careers and fulfilling careers. They have a lot less pain, more longevity in their body. And it's a pretty incredible thing as sports science improves. But you look, you know, Cody is 40. The Rock was 28. Look at the ages here. Stone Cold, 36. Felt ancient compared to everybody else. The Undertaker, 35. Triple H, 31. I mean, now you go on our side here, and who is younger than Gunther? 37. You know, that's John Cena's 48 on his last year. Randy Orton's almost out of here. AJ Styles is another one that's about to be done. He's 48, right? So Cody's 40. They're not exactly fully investing into the future like they should be. And that's one of the things that I am concerned with. I want to see them build new top stars that are younger and going to be here for a while, because these guys have what? Max, Cody's got around 5 or 6 years if he gets out early, like he said. Roman's almost done. Randy Orton's on his way out. Gunther could be in there for another 5 or 6 years, but I know he said not forever. Seth, he's a dad. How much time is he going to invest till his knees explode? Punk, 46, on his way out as well. Drew, we'll get to in a minute. Kevin Owens, we don't even know if he can ever wrestle again. Jey Uso is 39, going on 56. So, and -7 with fans. Drew McIntyre actually locked in a new contract, so he'll be signed for the next 3 years. He'll be signed until after WrestleMania season 2028. This is after Vince Russo invited him to come and wrestle for JCW, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, that head writer Vince Russo is now working for. So he invested in JCW, and you know, he wanted to work with the promotion when he was an independent wrestler. Drew did, but that was years ago. So I doubt WWE is going to bring a JCW deal, but anybody over 40 is getting fired, god damn it. Or starting over. AEW does have a lot of younger talents, and that's one of the things that their pillars fell apart, but it was a good idea. MJF, and, you know, they had the right idea behind it. Oh, Darby Allin, oh, you know, Sammy Guevara, and, you know, but they do have good talent. It's just a lack of storytelling. Usually that's the problem. So I try to see who else could be a really big star, like a Roman Reigns, that we're not thinking of right now. I'm telling you, Ethan Page is going to take off. When they finally bring him up, he's going to be incredibly over and massive. He's going to resonate as a shithead with the bastards that like heels, and then he'll get over with ladies, obviously, and then he'll also be over with getting reactions from people booing him in the crowd if he's a heel. But he can also do the face thing well, too. So Will Ospreay could be it. He's got the I know they hate this, but the moveset, the abilities, he needs a little promo work, bruv. He's certainly needs a little more direction, but he has the charisma, the look, the ability to do it, and he certainly feels like the kind of fresh face that they could get behind. He could lead a brand all his own, but I was sad when he didn't go to WWE in the sense of like, just, I wish the best for him, but I wonder what that would have looked like. Granted, yeah, Sheamus really wants to send John Cena off with the greatest match he's ever had. He said that if I get to face John Cena in, the Saturday night's main event, John's final match, December 13th, he said, I think it's extremely meaningful. You go back to 2009, we had that match at TLC when I shocked the world and became one of the fastest ever WWE heavyweight champions by beating him, putting him through a table. That itself launched my career to a whole new level. Remember, we couldn't believe it. Oh, what a fluke. He's only got the title because of the, Cena. That was great. Jesse Ventura said there was a conspiracy that everybody was, jobbing out to Super Cena, and it's time for some new people to get a chance. He got Sheamus in there, and then Sheamus wins. It was exciting back then when you had a landscape of shit. The biggest thing we got at this point in time was eventually The Miz challenging John Cena by putting his face on toilet paper. I was there for that. It was funny. That was after Cena got put through a spotlight at Backlash. So he said, that launched my career to a whole new level, put me on the map right away. I remember it must have been 1,000 interviews I did. No one expected me to win that. And he's like, I would love to repay the favor by giving Cena the greatest match ever. I'd love to repay what was done for me, the opportunity to face him, beat him, but I'd love to full circle take him on. And I concur. That would be incredible. Yeah, Ospreay with the neck fusion is very risky. My neck is fused and I can't take cold water or a bad breeze at this point. I used to be outside shoveling, no exaggeration, in t-shirts and shorts. It was snowing blizzard outside. I'm not trying to sound like a badass. I was also 400 pounds at that point. So I was a portable fucking generator and oven of heat. I could keep small villages warm. Eskimos used to huddle around me for the winter. Like I served multiple purposes, but my lard ass would get outside and be fine, sweating outside, icicles forming to me. I shit you not, because of that. It didn't bother me. I would sweat all day outside, come in skin burnt to hell from all the windburn. When I hated coats always. Now, since I lost all the weight and the neck fusion, I can't even get into a cold shower. If a pool is not heated, I am not having it. If I step in a puddle that might be too chilly, I might die. That's how much my neck seizes up, and it is so excruciatingly painful to have that with the fusion. So I can't imagine wrestling on that. My neck is inverted. The spine goes the opposite way, and if he had to have that type of cervical pressure to where he lost feeling, you see me move a lot and all that, it's because I go numb. I sit here and the nerves bother me, my hand tingles, so I can't sit the fuck still. I don't know how you wrestle like this. I don't know how you do the things that he does and continue to do and put his body on the line. I respect him, but there comes a point where I think somebody like with WWE would have said, you can't. I don't know how he was able to compete at All In. He should not have been at All In Texas. All the risks they put, like he wrestled like, oh, it can't get any worse. Like it's Cody's torn pec. No, it's your neck. It's your spine. Still baffling. But yeah, I would like to see that, in some universe, not this one, but a parallel one. John Cena and Sheamus having, Cena's final match. John is lucky in some regard. He probably picked his last opponent, or at least had some major say in it. If it is Gunther, good on him, but I thought Gunther would have been in the Raw side of things, so maybe not. I mean, we don't know for sure what's going to happen with the Last Time Is Now tournament. The last we saw here is WWE is purposely teasing AEW stars. They allude to Chris Jericho, to Edge. They want we've had the rumored IC title match and Gunther, passing the torch, but they keep saying, oh, well, even people that don't work here, that aren't employed here, that, So that's very intriguing. And Jericho can return in January, but not in time for the Cena match. Edge is away filming a show. That's why he's not being seen. But people that can is Big Show. He would be able to face him. People are saying Jericho might, but from what I saw, Jericho's contract doesn't end until January. So he's stuck until the clock strikes 2026. I mean, they are booking it in such a way so that on December 13th, when you tune in, you want to have some surprise. One thing we are not getting is surprises in the Royal Rumble. Because of how it works with Riyadh and the government. You have to basically like pre-register the flight log and who's coming over, and that's public information. So if Batista was going to come back this year and he managed to go ahead and be number 3 in the Rumble, hey, great, but fans are going to know because he's going to be on the docket essentially. And that kind of sucks. It ruins the fun. So you're going to see surprises for the Rumble happen basically as announcements on the way to the Rumble, allegedly, which I think is a little ass backwards. But Austin Theory is a one that could have been the next megastar. Absolutely. He possesses so much charisma and talent. He sells in such a unique way that there is no better finisher taker than him at this point in time. And I mean that in the highest degree possible. Yep, Vince loved Theory, so when he left, he lost his push, and then he was with A-Town Down as tag champs for less than a month? And then they had a feud internally amongst each other without actually ever truly feuding. They split up. Grayson Waller went with the New Day to mourn their tag title losses, and that's what we got. So hey, it worked out a lot better than it did for Big E. Ridge Holland, speaking of Big E, is going through a lot right now. So what happens is WWE said that he made a public statement, and according to Fightful now, they're saying this statement was a breach of contract. So not a great look, and I'm feeling really bad for him. But he basically, long and short, came out of it and said, I'm injured. I can't work. And because of that, I'm not going to be able to work for the next 5 months and provide for my family. And WWE, they terminated his contract early because of his recent tweets about the company's decision not to renew his contract. They said it was a breach of contract for him to tweet this. All he said was, I never thought I'd not be able to pay my mortgage. I mean, it's a hell of a statement to have to say as a man. To say that I can't provide for my family is fucking heartbreaking, and nothing that any man ever wants to go through, man or woman. But I'm saying, when I say man, I mean provider. Whoever's being the breadwinner at that point, now you have to go ahead and hang your head low in shame and say, I can't do it. That's a horrific feeling. And knowing that he's injured, so he really has time away from him that he can't continue to work for. So he said, I never thought I'd not be able to pay my mortgage. I feel like I've just been hung out to dry after getting injured working for another company on behalf of WWE. Add to that my contract not being renewed, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle for 7 months. This is brutal. Yes, they are taking care of the surgery and physical therapy, but let's be honest, that's the bare minimum after what we sacrificed for the company. Plus the possibility of having to get my neck fused too. Talk about getting totally fucked. Well, how did you think this was going to end, putting out a contract tampering statement like that? It's terms of service violation or not, the poor guy is right. So what happened is Ridge Holland, when he got called up, went ahead and was part of the Brawling Brutes, and they worked their asses off. Him and Pete Dunne. What the hell was his name there? Slappy? I forget. But still, Slappy and the Mongoose and Waller and whatever. They're all together, and Beefcake is managing to have the Brawling Brutus, team together. But they kind of suck, right? I mean, no one takes him serious. Ridge ain't doing shit. He damn near fucking paralyzes Big E. There's no real heat on him for it. It's an accident, but he feels very, very, very bad and guilty. and it weighs heavily on him. They don't know what to do with him. So what are they going to do? They're going to kind of get rid of him. So he's like, well, let me go back down to NXT and I can do certain things there in storyline. And he agreed to take a $200,000 pay cut so he didn't have to just stay on the main roster and do nothing. This way he could work with talent that he wanted to work with, be on TV, not just sit up here and do nothing and wait for his contract to run out. So that was pretty noble and smart. He wanted to, better his skills and up his stock. And that's when he betrayed Chase U. They had the tag title win and he turned his back on them and he turned into this monster heel. And it's like, oh, we're going to have all this greatness. And then he gets injured and it gets taken away as quick as it began. And we never really got to see that heel turn get off the ground. It came to fruition nicely. He turns on Chase U, ends up causing Chase U to be disbanded. And then they came back anyways. So what the fuck? But yeah, they let him go while he's injured. I get you can't say that they totally fucked you. He could have worded it a little bit better, but the sentiment is certainly true. And now they know, hey, we didn't renew your contract. Well, his contract ends at the end of the month, and then he's got 7 months of rehab left minimum if he doesn't get his neck fused. And just because they're paying for the surgery, they're not paying for all of the rehab, just certain aspects that matter and pertain to what his injury consists of. So if they have to rehab other areas as well, then you're kind of screwed because now that's out of your pocket. He's got 5 kids. It's a bad situation. So now Ridge, they terminated his ass, saying it's a breach of contract. So Luke Menzies' contract early termination after recent tweets about the company's decision not to renew. That's upsetting. I mean, I get why they did it. You can't say how you said, but WWE is a shitty company. Example number 58824. Pep says at Pep's Wrestling. Hard not to disagree when we hear things like this here. So, where's my other bit of storied news that I'm looking for? TKO was basically, you've got them defending how the ticket prices have just gone up and up and up, and that's okay. And it really is just disappointing to hear that's what they think is okay. And I don't know. It's baffling. I'm trying to see where we had. Here we go. I was looking for one Tony Khan, but that's I need Nick Khan, not Tony Khan. Where's my Nick Khan? I'm trying to find my bit of news here. So let's go ahead. I lost my tab. I apologize. But yeah, so he basically doubled down on WrestleMania 43. And he went ahead and talked about tickets. They should stay. They should stay that price. So during TKO's 2025 third quarter financial call, he went ahead and said, if the increase in revenue, was it due to pricing or crowd size? And he said it's both, and it's supply and demand. That's for PLEs, Raw, SmackDown. We've increased prices appropriately within the marketplace, he said, so it's both. He said, every other ticketed program that WWE has, we remain bullish on raising the price. And then they said, it's a major shift in your touring model after TKO took over with the merger. He said a couple years ago when TKO was put up, one of the first things we collectively did was reduce non-televised live events, which created more scarcity in the marketplace for our televised events, supply and demand, and continued international expansion, which only furthered that. So the more time they're overseas and the less times that you can go and see them live, because they're not doing house shows anymore, so they're only coming for Raw. Well, now they might bring Raw a bit more often to your area, so you'll get 3 chances a year. But it used to be they would come around 9 times, 3 Raws, 3 SmackDowns, maybe a pay-per-view, and a bunch of house shows. Now that's not the case. And then they're overseas for 6 to 8 weeks, twice a year. That's 4 months right off the bat. So now you've only got 8 months, and then you got to divide that amongst it. So it's now the ticket prices go up just simply on a supply and demand factor because there's less dates to see them. I mean, they've got us boned every way possible. He said January, you'll see a European tour for Raw and SmackDown leading into the Royal Rumble in Riyadh. He said tickets are already on fire for that event, and it creates more scarcity in the U.S., which is a good thing for our overall gauge. He said WWE is averaging 12,000 tickets per show. Wow. That is a 60% increase from last year. The company reportedly saw a $31.4 million boost in live events and hospitality just in this quarter alone. Whew, that is a lot of money. No doubt about it. Let's go ahead and I keep trying to check on Dynamite to see if any major events happen that we can further. We had Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale taking on Mercedes Moné and Athena. It basically ends with Mercedes and Athena losing to Willow and Harley. Wow. So Willow gets a power bomb on Athena and Harley follows up with the Crossroads neck breaker for the win. So interesting. They said it was a good match and Mercedes, nowhere near the finish of this, but of course Athena was going to get pinned. We knew that was going to happen. Daniel Garcia and Darby Allin, they had a good match, about 14 minutes. Darby Allin defeated Daniel Garcia with the Scorpion Deathlock, forcing him to tap out. Megan Bayne took on Mina Shirakawa, and Megan defeated Mina. At the end there, Marina Shafir came out and chokes out Toni Storm, and Megan Bayne then takes this distraction to hit a running Liger bomb on Mina for the win. So the heels are so far doing well to keep the advantage on their side. Sounds like a decent night. We made some notes with the conference call. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, last man standing match. Like we said, they're going to open with Tatum Paxley, El Grande Americano, and Jasper Troy for the speed title. Fallon Henley, Skylar Ray, women's speed title that's vacated, and then Josh Briggs, Tavon Heights as well. So big matches all around for this upcoming Tuesday. AEW Collision got one of their lowest ratings yet again, 217,000 viewers. According to Programming Insider, they got a 0.03 rating. Now, they were up against the World Series, but so was WWE's Saturday night's main event. So granted, it didn't seem to get the same excuse either. Raw was apparently thrown into chaos this week, and Brian Alvarez was saying that the opening monologue that we had and all that dialogue went on for an extra 10 minutes. So CM Punk then being interrupted by Logan Paul, the Vision's Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. I guess they went just a bit way too long. So with the show kicking off this way, it screwed up the times for everything, and they could not recover for the rest of the night. So that's why Raw ended a little bit later than normal, funny enough. And it's always funny when things like that happen and you just can't help it. Like I said, Nick Khan doubled down, saying that, the Saudi run is going to be great for not just Royal Rumble, but for WrestleMania as well. Of course, he's going to defend it and tout it, but he said it was a natural next step for us in WWE. We realized a number of years ago that we can't simply pipe American product out globally and hope to be a global product. You actually have to have boots on the ground. No shit. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? He said, if you look at what we've done with our premium live events over the last few years, about half of those now take place outside of the United States. We think people will come to the kingdom to see our show, and we're going to put on a spectacle. I am very interested to know the travel numbers and if people actually do go to this, because every single person that I saw on social media was very loud and proud and quick to tout, we are not going to this. I'm going to shout, F Saudi, F Saudi. Like that was their prerogative. They went ahead and just made this.
Just can't do it with everybody.
They made that a reality.
For
So we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, granted, the next week on AEW Dynamite going to be one half. Hey, look at that. You made it back just in time for you to go ahead and do predictions with me for Blood and Guts. Before we conclude, we've got the women's Blood and Guts matches we were discussing before with Dynamite. Jamie Hayter, Queen Aminata, Willow Nightingale. That's right. She's going to be going ahead and teaming up with Harley Cameron, Tony Storm, and Chris Statlander.
Ooh.
Like crazy, right? A lot of
Ooh. Yay.
So a lot to get through there. Versus, we got to go ahead and include the Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Tekla, Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and it's the CEO, Mercedes Moné, who did lose tonight. She lost with Athena, but Athena got the pin. Mercedes got the fuck out of Dodge. She was like, listen, I'm not getting anywhere near that 3 count. You can lick my peace, bitch. CEO.
Wow, word for word like that?
Just like that. I was watching the recap. So who do you think wins, the faces or the heels? Because this is the what? Is this not the first women's Blood or Guts match, right? This is the inaugural women's, right? I'm pretty sure this is the first time to feature a Blood and Guts match for the women, Cody. Come on, get excited. Yeah. Yeah. Lady's going to kill it. Who's getting a thumbtack in their snatch? Who's going to get shivved in the sniz?
I would say the heels are winning.
Death by snoo. You think the heels are going to take it, really? So the Triangle of Madness with the Bermuda Triangle of non-shaved derrieres. Mercedes, Marina, and Megan. Gotta remember, Marina's barefoot and possibly pregnant coming in this one. So
that changes everything.
That's what happens when you roll around with Jon Moxley. He's off the sauce and ready to explode, ladies. We've got you saying the heels. I think it's gonna be the freaking heels as well. I don't want to agree with you, but because of how I think the next match is supposed to play out, I kind of keep going back and forth with this one because it's not like, oh, the heels can win here, so the faces have to win the next one. We've seen AEW, not follow that pattern whatsoever. It doesn't have to be one because, X doesn't always equal Y. Now, I originally said I wanted the
WWE
heels
has that issue.
Yes, they do have a lot of parody issues.
And on the main roster, have the heels ever won a? Wait, maybe once, right?
The heels on the main roster, I think the heels won it against the Brawling Brutes one, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, that was the only time heels won at War Games, right? On the main roster.
I'm going to say yes. I might be wrong, but I think that's accurate.
I think the women's last year should have won. The heels should have won.
None of them stand out on the main roster.
Champions on the fucking show.
That's really the problem, Cody. None of them are able to be differentiated in my mind. They all blur together. So I think of spots. I can picture the NXT ones individually, and I'm like, oh yeah, we had Team Pat McAfee. That was such a fun year, and all of the main roster ones blur together, sadly. So as far as AEW goes, though, I think it is going to be the heels. I think you're right. Triangle of Madness. People are behind them. It doesn't really hurt Tony to lose here. I think that they can recover all of them from the loss, but I think the women, especially because of Mercedes, I think that the faces lose. I think the heels take it.
100%.
I got it going on in my head that way. And then we've got the men's Blood and Guts match. So their War Games consist of the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio.
Is it 1 on 6 on 6, right?
Yeah.
5 on 5.
Yes.
Right.
This is the 5 on 5.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Yes. So we got Jon Moxley, Claudio, Wheeler, Daniel Garcia, and Pac. not X-Pac, Pac. And then we got Team Darby, or Team Mount Everest, Darby, Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly.
I think faces.
So all the faces.
I have a question. Right, this is just on Dynamite next week, right?
Yes, all the faces I would have thought would lose. I really, really, really thought that all of the faces here would lose because they're going to do a simulcast on TBS and HBO.
This is where I think AEW is better than WWE. They'll put these crazy matches on a weekly television show. Like, why can't WWE do that sometimes? Why not for this huge Monday Night Raw do like some sort of elimination chamber, or like I think it would make a Raw meaningful here and there.
Yeah, I don't disagree entirely, but I get the mindset again of supply and demand. So you're only going to see the chamber at Elimination Chamber. You're only going to see Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell, until they change it. But that was kind of the booking mindset for many, many years, over a decade. I like you said, I'd rather see. I miss title wins being on the weekly shows. I hate that the titles are only usually defended at pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever you want to call them now. But yeah, no, I honestly agree.
Think that you should do this here and there sometimes, like a big.
Like I agree. Like, Mania. I get why they don't, but I'm not in agreement with it. I think it would, that kind of spectacle needs to happen. Then they're like, well, what's the point of turning into Raw if you're, and see a Hell in a Cell there? Why would you tune into the pay-per-view to see it then? And it's like, well, that's the thing. You got to make you want to watch it. It's
sometimes
not about
you need
the
to
match,
have an important Raw. Yeah.
A little bit of spectacle goes a long way. So if Darby was not involved in this and it was anybody else, and I mean literally anybody else, I would say the Death Riders win. But because it's Darby here, and because he keeps getting some type of small revenge on the Death Riders, but hasn't really taken them out yet.
Since he beat Moxley, do you think they're gonna do this to make it so they're tied, so they have that?
No,
reason?
Because Moxley beat Darby, I think, at every other opportunity up until this. So Darby finally got his revenge after being kicked down the stairs. That's what that was. This is going to be, I think, maybe not the disbanding of the Death Riders. They're not going to get rid of them, but I think this is going to be the funeral for them. Like in effigy, they're going to kill these bastards. Darby wants to take Moxley out back and Old Yeller him. So I think that this is the match where it has to happen. If Darby wasn't in this, though, the Death Riders 100% fact would win. But I picture Darby somehow, he needs to come out on top here. He can't lose again, not to Moxley, especially when he just beat Moxley. So if he loses to him now, that is so ass backwards out of everything they had us accomplish. And it was an I Quit match.
Well,
and
that's
Moxley
AEW
didn't really quit. Well, see, this is why I don't want them to AEW it up. Just like TNA'd it up at Bound for Glory. I don't want to see AEW go ahead and not shave that hairy ass.
I would love that as well, but
I want
AEW will always AEW it up. TNA will always TNA it up. WWE will always WWE it up. When you TNA it up, AEW it up, WWE it up, expect the most illogical way of doing things possible.
That's the problem. This will be a spectacle. It's going to be a hell of a thing. They're in North Carolina, so they can bleed, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a hold on that in the area, but...
With Darby and Moxley being in the match, right? There's going to be... I think they can actually... can I even say the words I want to on...
I mean...
What they can do to each other on here?
Can we? I don't know. We've been... certainly silenced on most of our episodes. They seem to get hit and people don't want us to be heard. But I will say, our Saturday night's main event review, 40,000 views for that. Thank you guys so much. Shit ton of likes. It's really great to see all the support there. So thank you all for that, helping us hit over 12,000 subscribers. If you're watching not on YouTube, make sure you head over there, youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Give us a subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the bell because notifications help. We're going to be live even more. So you don't want to miss it. We'll be live this Friday with the SmackDown review. Tomorrow night, we'll be live on the Spaz Phoenix YouTube channel to go ahead and bring you our AEW versus WWE, the state of wrestling discussion with Cody. Cody Onidi Rhodes joined us for this heated.
Like
and
I
at
was like a
times-
last minute like.
I mean, it was heated and at times a bit contentious. But Cody Onidi Rhodes, Cody Onidi Rhodes, he managed to light the fire inside of us and get us cooking. So you guys are definitely going to want to head and check that out live. Description
That's what
box
I'm here
down
for.
below.
You're
Click
gonna
on
have
it.
a teaser of this after this Blood and Guts. Or should we just save that for tomorrow? Because
That's
it's
all
insane.
saved for then. I mean, the Blood and Guts, you and I kind of. What do you think for the men's? Are you giving it to the guys or Death Riders? I don't think I made you pick yet.
I don't want them to AEW it up, so I want to pick the faces, but I'm afraid they will AEW it up. I'm gonna go heels again.
I could see them killing Darby and just massacring him, but hopefully that's not the case.
I don't want the heels to win. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
But
that
please,
would
that may be wrong.
shitty up the ring. I think the faces win here. Darby holds his flag out again and holds it high. You know, this flew on Evers, which is a very cool thing to have. But
I don't know if I got a clear answer from you on this whole thing since we're talking about this now. I know you don't like the whole blood show, which I get. Not
it's
for
not that I
everyone,
don't
but
like it. It's that I don't like
who
it
will
in
have
excess.
a better War Games match? Who will have the best War Games match? Will the best War Games match out of the four come from AEW or WWE?
I got to see what WWE is doing first. It depends on what the lineup is and why.
If you had to have an early prediction now, match quality wise, who has the better?
I'm not
match in
being a
this kind of
cop out. I
concept?
really don't know. Because I don't know who the participants are for WWE. So typically, the last few years of Blood and Guts matches have been just violent bullshit, nonsensical, over dramatic bullshit where they whip.
That's fair. But
What's memorable from the?
One's too bloody, like it gets out of hand, and the other is too watered down.
But it's not
They're
like
like
I'm
polar
grossed
opposites.
out. I don't care about the gore in that sense. It's stupid. So they have Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, then crucified like Christ on a cross, handcuffed to the side of the cage. Remember this? And then they
See, stuff
proceed
like that
to
they don't
give
need to
him, they gave him an unprotected chair shot to the dome that cracked his skull open hard way, legitimately, as the blood poured from his scalp. Why was that necessary? You could have killed him, never mind giving him a
See,
severe concussion.
You don't need to actually. You can give
So,
the visual of blood, so
I see
even if
that,
it's fake blood.
and that shit just turns me off in the sense I'm like, it's so
Sometimes-
unsafe. I
I'm
want to
fine
see
with, like-
wrestling last. I want to see them compete and be able to have their careers have longevity. You don't need to do shit like that
But the point of
anymore.
this type of matches, they've had so much of rivalry where they all want to kill each other.
But you can have violence. It's not the super blood. It's that's fine. You could all walk out with more blood than The Shining covered in all of you. Just make it make fucking sense. You can have weapon spots. You can
stuff
have
like that, it gets
thumbtacks.
ridiculous. Like
I'm
like
talking
barbed
about
wire,
the
I'm fine with
excessive.
it. Barbed wire on.
They've done a
barbed
lot of
wire
those
baseball bat, hit that.
excessive things, and then like the one year, everybody's doing these huge moments, and then Jericho falls onto cardboard, and it's like, no, we don't want to see you get hurt. But the point is, you made it obvious that you fell on cushion. Like that's everybody's dying, bleeding inside, and you're falling on feathers. That's the issue here. But
Right.
I can't give it to AEW here, and I'm not going to blindly just say WWE. I need to know the participants before I can judge.
Would you agree that they can be both polar opposites of each other?
Oh yeah,
One
but that's
of
the thing.
two
They're
watered
two
down of a match.
completely. It's not that WWE waters it down more. They just bring less of the hardcore variety, and sometimes it needs to be more gritty, more real, like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's Hell in a Cell match. That was violent, and that was the best use of hardcore ever. They didn't do a bunch of ridiculous things. He fucking split his head open with a toolbox. They did the landing on
I
the
just don't like
chair.
it feeling
They
like a regular
barely
match.
used the
if you
Hell
get
in a
what I'm saying.
Cell. No, I know, but they barely even used the Hell in a Cell, and everybody loves it as a Hell in a
Exactly.
Cell match. They didn't go through the top. They didn't go off the sides. They killed each other in the ring with a few weapons, but it was all about this, the psychology, the blood added to it. Like Punk bleeding in the dog collar match with MJF. It needed the blood there because of everything that they built to with that feud. About, you were my idol and you left me, and him getting in Punk's head long enough to let him get the advantage. It was a great story. But it was story and match. The problem is
Fair.
now there's no real story with AEW's blood and guts matches right now. That's why ECW, like, they have a lot of health issues, Cody Ray says. Yeah, because
fair,
the ECW guys, it took so many crazy blows. And you look at a lot of them, like, look at Just Incredible is a piece of shit as a human being.
I think for both shows, though.
But he was
both
made into
AEW
an
and
addict,
WWE.
you know?
I would say that both AEW and WWE, the War Games concept, blood and guts, the women's for both make more sense than the men's this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And because, well, the men's makes sense, but it doesn't. So the men's match, it adds up, but it shouldn't. And that's the problem. As I'm whistling over here.
Which one, for AEW or WWE?
For AEW, because the men's, heel versus face, but the Death Riders should have been disbanded. They should be no more.
Yeah.
They should be over. So it really, like,
That's
as much as it makes sense with what they've given us, they're still feuding, but now they added in Cassidy,
Like,
O'Reilly, Briscoe.
Darby and Moxley, they both make sense to be in there.
Yeah, they added in Roderick Strong, and Darby Allin's got his whole group now, and it's like, all right, so the guys come to help him, so that's why they started feuding with them. But it's still, I don't know, it's still like a moot point because he made Moxley lose in an I Quit match. But Moxley, he never said I quit. The ref just rang the bell. So it's still weird with the Scorpion,
Well, I have a question. How many more titles do you think AEW will add until Blood and Guts?
Well, you let me know before. They had the what titles coming back? The international title?
The national, right?
The international, or
something like that.
Yeah,
the international. Something like that.
Too much cocaine this weekend, Cody.
So
I can't breathe. We gotta slow down on we gotta slow down on the blow. My nostrils are just wrecked.
Okay. My issue with this is people are like, well, if you give another title to someone, it gives them something to do. No, it doesn't. I've always said this: more titles, devalues titles.
Yeah,
that's what all fucking does.
They should.
People will be like, why are you complaining about AEW having so many titles when WWE has, they argue, they're the same or more, or something like that? I'm like, the difference between WWE and AEW is AEW has them all on one show. WWE has them split between 3 shows with 3 different rosters.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's comparable at all.
They're starting to build women's tag teams, but God knows how long most of these thrown together teams are going to last once this tournament is over. What I would have done for AEW, I would have a men and women's championship, a men and women's, underneath. So they got the TNT and TBS, and that would be it for titles. I would have a tag team title, and then I would have an intergender tag team title. No 6-man trios titles. No, I would keep all that shit out of there. You can have the men and women's intergender tag titles mean something because they're not going to have enough female tags to have female tag titles. So do it intergender.
How many other matches are on the show? Like this Blood and Guts show. I don't know if you care about
We've got to
matches.
find out more because I know it's these 2 back to back. They're having it, one after the other, but I don't know if they have anything in between. So I'm trying to see if anything else was
these
announced
are the only 2
on
matches
Dynamite.
I actually am looking forward to.
Yeah, the end of Dynamite saw the Ops take on Hangman, Hook, and Eddie Kingston for the trios titles, and the Ops defeated the baby faces. It ended up being Hook that tagged in, but Hobbs was the legal man, so Hobbs quickly picked up Hook and put him in the torture rack and got the tap out. So
how was AEW tonight, you think?
Sounded pretty bad, and I'm still looking forward to Blood and Guts. What a lack of heat and excitement, huh? Everything feels just very flat right now, and
we were giving them the benefit of the doubt tonight. That how can you fuck this up? It looks like a really good match card. It looks like it will be a good show, but somehow
they had all those matches they planned, and most of them just.
They have too many matches on their show. I know it's pro wrestling, dude. You need to have all these matches, man. But sometimes WWE has less wrestling and puts on better shows than AEW with more wrestling. So I don't think necessarily having more wrestling gives you a better show.
Chat brings up a great point, and it's one of the things that I'm having a hard time with AEW. And they're saying how Orange Cassidy never developed his character further. And I've gone ahead, I've said it a multitude of times. I'm going to say it again, though. They just had their 6-year anniversary. We have barely moved a step forward from where we were when they debuted. Meaning almost
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy is still in the same spot. Jurassic
well,
Express, they're
since
teaming
AEW
again. Now they're just like when they debuted. Nothing but the Young Bucks.
first-
You know, no one is more over. No one is more even accomplished. It's just everybody feels stagnant. As where if you look at the last 5 years for Roman Reigns, for Cody Rhodes, you can name a lot of people and be like, look at all the development for Sami Zayn, for Kevin Owens, for Drew McIntyre, for CM Punk, for Seth Rollins, for Braun Breaker. I can name a lot of things for people. I don't see that as much on the other side with so much development over 5 years. John Moxley was a face for a long time, and his attitude, was basically Stone Cold Moxley. He came out and
I've been called
looked ass
an
and
idiot
left.
for this before. I think Dean Ambrose, away from the Shield, the Lunatic Fringe, is a better character than anything he's done in AEW.
I like Dean Ambrose. I had the Ambrose Asylum shirts. I think they tried too hard on the zaniness with him. They really tried, like when he was doing some of the stuff like Stephanie Ho, making the jokes, and it was good to see like the bipolar-esque manic side of him making fun of everybody to their faces without them realizing it. Like, yeah, the mental health side of him being gone, but I don't know. They ended up going
You think
too
Dean Ambrose
silly
is
with
better
it.
than John
Like
Moxley?
him coming out with the hot dog cart and firing the ketchup and mustard, like shit like that is funny. But then they have him come back driving the police van, like, the Stone Cold elements. It didn't work. The guy dealt with a lot, and just, I mean, you look at everything the way it went down with Lesnar, that should speak volumes. But people still remember more his podcast appearance on the Stone Cold Network special that turned out to be a disaster. Oh, that was bad.
Dean
But,
Ambrose
yeah.
is a much better character than John Moxley.
I think
I said
Dean
what I
Ambrose
said.
was a much better face, and John Moxley was a much better heel. Because even if you don't like the
That's
Death
fair.
Riders, at the heel, at least I'll give them this. The Death Riders make sense. What his original mission was, the way they delivered it sucked, but I can't argue with the mission statement. He set out, he got the title, he kills Brian. He says, Brian, you are a broken down shell of your former self. You are barely a remnant of a thing of the past. And I'm taking you out because I love you, and this is what's best for you. You can't keep going on and do this. Your body's failing you. So he took the life from him. He gets the belt. He puts it in the briefcase, and basically he locks away Daniel's soul. Now, Brian Danielson, I should put, AEW, not Brian. Brian Danielson, not Daniel, excuse me. His the representation of him is in that briefcase. Moxley gets up and says, you all have made this company suck. You have all failed the fans. You have failed Tony Khan, and you have failed me. No one will get this belt until one of you steps up and truly embodies what it means to be an all-elite wrestler. Until one of you can truly be the champion, none of you will ever see this title again. And we had 8 months of build to Hangman doing all these things and learning and growing and changing and developing all this character growth. And it led to a really great moment when Hangman beat Moxley. That's a great
Was it
tap in Tony's hat.
I don't think
give him
Hangman should be
credit.
champion right now.
But it shouldn't have been Hangman. It should have been Darby. All along, the story was around Darby, but Darby had to climb Everest. He missed his first trip because he broke his foot. So then it got delayed, and this is the only time he can go. And Tony felt like he couldn't hold on any longer and wait for Darby, so he went ahead with it, and they chose Hangman. And Hangman worked, but I feel like the story was made for Darby to get the retribution. Granted, whatever, they still delivered pretty well with the ending of Hangman getting it. It was supposed to be emotional. That was supposed to end Moxley's story. Finally, somebody came and stood up for the title, and you saw him take it out, and it was the release of Brian. I release you. You can move on into wrestling heaven. I now have the company on my back.
You want to know what's funny? Speaking about championships, I just like to compare this. Like WWE tribalist.
Yes.
I can see criticizing WWE more. They will, but like I thought you said, this is a new landscape. I see WWE tribalists criticizing Triple H a lot.
Yeah.
But AEW tribalist tonight with announcing another title, they're like, "Oh my God, this is sick! This is awesome!" Like Do they ever, ever? Do these sickos ever criticize AEW like at all?
Not that I see. They just go ahead and Pico, goddammit. Mountain Iowa. I don't think they can criticize what they love. And that was kind of the thing, Mark Briscoe, he's not the good promo. Jay was. Jay was the better of the two always. That's why Jay had accomplished more. Mark's not bad, but Mark tries so hard to be kooky and zany and oh my God, what am I going to say? Chicken picking, flicking, flacking, and he gets all like, his own language and giggity. And it's kind of like a hillbilly parody of himself, though. It's just ridiculous. It's just a lot of energy and rambling. It's not character development. It's not, defining who you are. And that's kind of the problem. These backstage segments hurt the magic of Mark Briscoe. The "we miss your brother, we're standing behind you" energy gets thrown out when he acts like a dipshit and no one sees him win ever. 9 times out of 9, this guy is losing. So, I don't know. I like him, but best Briscoe is Gerald. Yeah, just don't tell that to Patterson. So you and I basically agreed for the blood and guts side of things. I thought, well, I for the women, I think it'll be the heel side, like you said. We both went with the heels there, and then you said the faces for the men's?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to say the faces because of Darby, but they could just give us more heat with the Death Riders and we have to summon something else to finally take down the evil John Moxley. So I don't know. There's nothing here that's blown me away with AEW, and NXT has been a lot of fun. It's been consistent. I appreciate what we're getting next week.
Besides this past week.
Yeah. This past week wasn't even terrible. It was kind of, well, here's the thing. It was a necessary evil because all of it was building towards stuff in the future, basically. A lot of it was just stepping stones and, besides the main event, what did we get? The cake scene was really funny. I liked their celebration with Thea joining Joe Hendry. I'm a little worried. I don't want him to be an entire meme, but hey, the only low point I would say would be Grande and Briggs. I don't care about a Grande Americano, but the matches, everything, it's got a lot of building blocks. Zarya, Ren Sinclair, the speed title, fatal influence going over Tatum. Showing that Izzy, sacrificed herself for Tatum. That was a big moment. So it's all moments building, but again, so it was, not outstanding, nothing you need to write home about and nothing must see. Good. Yeah, I don't regret watching it, but it didn't feel like a waste of time, but it's not anything that I'm telling people like, yeah, you have to tune in this week. You can wait until next week. And sadly, we shouldn't be getting things like that. We should be getting
there's
great moments.
There's the difference between a bad show and a boring show.
Absolutely. And it wasn't bad, but it was a little boring at times, or at least a little bit safe. And that could hurt things. So, but yeah, we went into depth quite a bit on the Spaz Phoenix YouTube channel. He'll be premiering that tomorrow night on the State of Wrestling as we go ahead and argue over who's better, AEW or WWE, when it came to handling a list of 16 talents that have both jumped ship and some might have even jumped back. Andrade, But they said the only reason Tony's doing a women's and men's blood and guts is because WWE's doing the Survivor Series at the same time. I mean, he does have them, Speedy, but it is a little suspect because it feels.
Any other wrestling news we have to cover before I get into this?
It feels out of left field. So no. Did you have anything else? We're getting the hell out of here. Wait, what else do you have to get into?
Our week 10 predictions.
Oh, Jesus, we have to do this quick too. I've only had to pee since 6 o'clock. All right, let's get our
we can do a speed round.
I forgot our
We're both predicting again.
Predictions. Yes, sir. We'll keep it together and make sure we get it. Sky Blue's ass or Mina Shirakawa's everything brings out the best in AEW. Dickinson, I cannot argue. I'm an ass man myself. Always love some good boobs, but ass man, yeah. Last week Cody was 10-4. I was 8-6. We're on week 10 of our NFL predictions, and I, Dicko, have done no better. Like I said, Dickinson's the mayor around here, so the mayor of the chat, Mark Mayor Dickinson, glad to have you back
Mayor
here.
of the Dicks.
That's right.
Oh.
What do we got going on week 10, sir?
You got Thursday Night Football tomorrow. You got the Raiders versus the Broncos.
All right.
I'm going to go Broncos.
That's what I was going with again. I usually do it just for the South Park. You are first. I am second. So no, I'm first. You're second. But we agree that goes for one. So there we go. What's the next game, sir?
We got Falcons versus the Colts.
I'll say the Colts.
Next. Oh, yeah, duh. I need to say it too. I forgot. This is a new thing. I'll say Colts as well.
All right, I figured.
Then we got the Browns versus the Jets.
I'm
going to go Browns.
Yeah.
Browns seem good here because
All
Jets can't win. They're an embarrassment of a franchise. But anyway, next.
Not a chance. I mean,
Saints
they got one, but
versus a team that's Saints versus Panthers.
ooh,
I'm going to go Panthers.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. So I got
Then
my
we
man on
got
the inside in the
interesting
chat.
matchup.
The Pico. Yeah, what's that?
Two good teams. Patriots versus Buccaneers.
Patriots.
I'm gonna go
Buccaneers. Ooh,
Patriots.
yeah, that's what I'm.
I don't
going
know
with.
though. This is like a toss-up. This could go either way.
I'm going Patriots. So is that what you're going with? It
I'm
doesn't
going
want to
Patriots.
load
Yeah, I'm going Patriots as
the
well.
sticky note. I don't know why, folks. It just wants to shine on through to whatever I have there. So I'll figure it out later. Browns and Jets in the toilet
again.
bowl.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know. This can go either way, but I'm going to go Patriots. But this seems like the more unpredictable game of the week. Then you got Ravens versus Vikings.
Ravens, Vikings. I'll go with the Ravens.
I'm going to go Ravens as well.
Hey, I got it working. So there we go. All right, Pats, then Ravens. What do you call a group of ravens?
What?
It's not a flock. It's an unkindness. You should know this. All right, what do we got next?
Okay. We got Bill. I said Ravens and Vikings, right? Yeah. So now we got Bills and Dolphins.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go Bills.
that's what I'm going with. Bills.
Next we got the Giants and Bears.
All right, I'll take the Giants.
I'm gonna go Bears.
I figured.
Next we got this is another interesting one. Jaguars and Texans.
We're going Jags.
I don't know who to. I'm gonna go Jaguars.
Oh, you're agreeing. All right.
Yeah.
Which
Next,
team
we
has the
got,
best cheerleaders? You should know this. So which team has the best cheerleaders? That's what I want to know. Mayor Dickinson asked. So.
I don't know. They don't usually show the cheerleaders, you know?
No? What the hell are we watching for? Best
Well, I
NFL
think it's more for the crowd
cheerleaders.
there.
What the fuck is that? That's all right. Hold on. I almost got sick for a
I
second.
got an interview from Chelsea Green that we have to show after this.
Oh, but here, really quick, you could see I looked up who NFL cheerleaders, best NFL cheerleaders, and it says top NFL cheerleaders right here, and it shows Terry Hatcher. But look at that photo of her. Could they be any crueler there? I mean, look at that. She's I know she's not as young as she was. Stacy Keebler. Forget her. Phyllis Smith. Hello. Let's get that in there. All right. Lisa Guerrero. Kristen Adams. I just wanted a comprehensive list of the best cheerleaders. So I knew which hottest cheerleaders and dancers 20 to watch in 2025. No, I just want to know which team has the best cheerleaders. Which team? Let's see here. Wow. I would not have expected that to be the answer. What do you think?
Who is it?
The Dallas Cowboys. Of course. It's always the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody always goes back to them. And number 2, Houston Texans cheerleaders. Number 3, Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. Number 4, the Denver Broncos cheerleaders. I am a judgmental bastard. My formerly fat ass has every right to be judgmental. If you are listed as a beautiful cheerleader and you look anything like this, that's a guy, right? Cody, you agree? That's a guy, right? Right here.
Where?
This one right here, that's a guy, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't. You know.
And then this one over here is a guy too. Look.
Who is it? Vikings have a male cheerleader, right?
This one over here is a guy too. That one. I think they all might be guys in the Texans. All right, we can't handle the Texans cheerleaders. All right, so after the Jags game, what do we got?
You got the Cardinals versus the team that mollywopped the Redskins, Seahawks.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
Battle of the Birds.
What are you going with?
Seahawks as well.
All right.
Seahawks.
Then what?
Then we got the Lions versus
Tigers and Bears. Oh my.
Fucking, I don't know what you call it. Hospitalized organization right now in the Redskins.
All right. So who against the Redskins?
I'm gonna go Lions.
All right, Lions.
I'm gonna go Lions.
Oh, you're even going against your own team. Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if that works. Maybe, the reverse jinx.
Yeah.
I don't pick them.
Good thing I can't hear the horn, but I know it's being picked up. I'll kill him later. Yes.
The Rams versus 49ers.
I'm going to go with the 49er. It says 2/4 of a 6. Well, it's 2/3 of a 69er. Gave my wife the 49. She owed me 20 cents. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go Rams.
Oh, you're going the Rams instead of the 49ers. Well, I won't 49 you then.
Okay, then. I mean, I appreciate that, I think.
All right.
And you got Steelers and Chargers.
All right, Steelers.
I'm going to go Steelers as well.
Of course. What else you got?
I got Eagles and Packers as the final game.
I'm going to go with the Eagles because I can't stand them, but I think they're going to win.
I think they're going to win too.
Yeah,
Eagles are going to win. Packers look good on record, but they've lost some weird games as well. So
I believe it. So
Eagles win.
Makes sense.
How many different ones do we got this week?
We got the Saints and Panthers. We got the Giants and Bears, and that's it. So we got those two matches head to head to determine this week. Going to be down to the wire with those games listed. Clean sweep? It could happen.
That's what we're aiming for this year.
We've seen crazier things, and don't forget, the end of the month, that Wednesday before Survivor Series, we'll be doing a community version of Survivor Series predictions. You can join in with us. We'll give you more details as we get closer. But until then, my good man, please tell these lovely people where they could find you, my friend.
Before we do that, one more thing.
What?
Chelsea Green has some words. I sent you the
I tried, but it's copyrighted, so it won't go through. It keeps getting flagged. But tell the lovely people where you're from, my friend.
Who copyrighted something we did?
I don't know. They're out there, those copyright trolls. They want to take us down.
They do. Well, you got to go into somewhere for that.
That's right.
I don't know. Or not other places, but you can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube, also at Judgment Day Era, even though I haven't posted gaming content. I will soon, and I'll keep that going until I actually do it, and Jake finds me, I guess, every time now. And he forced me on the Baz's podcast. He's like, now you're going to do double duty today.
Yeah.
So that happened.
We were trying to bring more than just you as a guest, but...
who else were we going to bring?
I thought we had a special guest for Spaz, but fell through at the very end. Last second. Would have been epic.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. We'll be trying. But
Then Instagram, Cody_Onidi_316.
that's right. Make sure you go ahead and give him a follow.
Give me a hell yeah.
Check out everybody in the description box down below. Make sure you're following us here. We'll be live for the SmackDown review this Friday. We'll have some podcasts coming your way. Now that I think I fixed everything on my end, I installed the new SSD. The replacement warranty M.2 drive came in, so it seems to be helping. I think things are off to a smashing success. So far, no lag, no foul. But thank you guys, as always, for being here. We apologize for a little bit of the hectic nature, but we got through it. Next week, we'll have a lot more in store.
Make sure you tune into Spaz's podcast tomorrow.
That's
Things
right.
do get heated.
Tomorrow night, we're discussing AEW, WWE, who was better and where. Go ahead and check that out. He's got a definitive 16-person list that we're going to go through and break down. It's a long one, almost 3 hours, clock it in. So make sure you go ahead and check that out on the Spaz Phoenix channel. Like I said, we'll be live there tomorrow night with that. Until then, follow me here. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Turn on notifications. Because like I said, we'll be live for the SmackDown review this Friday. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Rumble, all at Countdown Ended. Our show TikTok is at Jake.CountdownEnded. And you can check us out on Spotify using the hashtag Into Somewhere. Thank you again for getting our Saturday night's main event review. Over 40,000 views. You guys are amazing. That's incredible. We appreciate it greatly. Thank you as well for getting us over 12,000 subscribers. Ticking up this year. It'd be crazy to hit 13 before the year ends. Let's see if we can make that happen. But until then, thank you all. Let me get that mouthful out. Stay sexy, and we'll see you Friday.